My name is Kwabna Chencheheni. Many thanks for joining us here on News Desk. Let's start off with the Bus Rapid Transport Service, and managers of that very facility have suspended the one-week test ride of the Bus Rapid Transport Service, which commenced on Monday. Now, a few of the buses were on some of the designated routes yesterday, offering free services to patrons who expressed mixed reactions about the quality of service rendered. Well, the idea behind the service is to help ease congestion on the country's roads. But why the sudden suspension of such a service? Well, in a bit, we'll be speaking to Samson Jamra. He's the Chief Executive Officer of the Greater Accra Passenger Transport Executive. But even before that, let's bring you that very piece that my colleague Derek Ekosam did while on one of those tours on that particular bus.
At Tudu and Accra, this is where the BRT buses will take off before they go to their various destinations, to Achimota, to Ofankor, and then to other places. Today, they are having a simulation exercise of a sort. They want to see whether or not the systems would work. They want to test the waters to see if people are even aware of the operations of these buses. So come along with me, let's go on this ride and see what it is we can learn on the ride today. The buses have become operational from today, as in the simulation exercises today. Tell us why it appears that not many people heard about it. Why?
Yeah, like I told you from the beginning, this is going to carry on from today up to Friday. And then the idea is to test the system, one, to see the competency level of the drivers, two, the challenges that are on the route, and then three, to see if the comments of the passengers which you are going to pick to enable us to roll out a nice customer care system for the bus system.
So for how long will you have the simulation exercise?
For 1 week, today and Friday.
Okay, so that was just to bring you a bit of a summary as to what it is that happened yesterday. Now, the substantive issue this morning is that the service has been suspended. As to what really the reason is, let's try and get those answers from Samson Jamra, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Greater Accra Passenger Transport Executive, and or they are managers of that very service, the Bus Rapid Transit Service. He's joining me on phone now. Mr. Jamra, good morning. Many thanks for joining us here on News Desk, sir.
Good morning.
Okay, so first and foremost, we may want to talk about the process yesterday and your assessment of how it went.
Okay, there is some misconception I want to clarify about the process yesterday and what is supposed to be going on until Friday. You know, our bus system has certain attributes from the BRT that we are duplicating on the system, like the automated fare collection arrangements, like passenger information, and like CCTV cameras on board the bus in terms of security issues and incident management, etc. Now, these equipment have an IT infrastructure, and they are linked to our control room, which is in Achimota. And we have control staff and drivers who have been trained to be able to use this equipment on board the buses. We are simulating from Monday until Friday live operational arrangements to get our operational people to be on top of issues once we start commercial arrangements. And we also want to anticipate the kind of glitches that we should be expecting and should be preparing for. That is what the entire exercise is all about. So when we started yesterday, there were some anomalies we noted, especially with the drivers keying in their logs for the day, their journeys for the day. The system is such that on the onboard computer accommodates the driver's schedule for the day, and that is what signals the passenger information in the buses. And we found out that there were some issues with it. So we will run the buses back to the depot, and we are bringing the drivers. We have brought the drivers in for retraining to be sure that when we get back on the road tomorrow, those things will not happen. This is a continuous improvement that we are putting in the system to be sure that we are ready for our operations.
Mr. Jamra, I did hear you say something about passenger information and the fact that it did not really tally well with something. I'm not sure I got that very part. Or if you could take us through that once again.
What I'm saying is that before we start operation, the driver has to key in his log or his duty roster for the day.
Okay.
The duty roster is accommodated on the onboard computer with the bus, and that is associated with the passenger information in the bus because the bus is capable of announcing the next stops, also showing the next stops. These are part of the facilities on board the bus.
Okay,
so during our test on Monday, we found out that there were issues with both the human and then the software issues on the bus, and these are being rectified. So basically, that is how come we are not operational today.
So it's a fault. The software is not working. The software that's supposed to.
I am not saying the software is not working. I'm saying that there were glitches, and those glitches are what we are addressing. With any operations that you put on the road, there are issues that will not work exactly the way you planned. Therefore, you should prepare for them. And
no, I mean obviously that's why I do some of these test rides, just so you'll be able to tease out some of these issues. But
the real arrivals at the stops, etc., to be able to determine that our systems are well working and well tuned for our operations.
The question I want to ask has to do with I'm still looking at this issue of the software you speak of and the fact that it's not functioning to the level you expect it to. And
please, can I correct you? I'm not saying the software is not functioning to the level I expect it. I'm saying the interface, the human interface between the software and the back office are those things that we are addressing. The software is okay. It is running properly.
So what are you going to do now exactly?
Now we are letting the drivers do the keying of their logs again, and you see the realignment of their logs with the onboard to be sure that they have it right before we go back on the road tomorrow.
Okay, so you are saying that it means from tomorrow they are going to resume the operations?
Of course, we are still testing the operational readiness, and therefore there are other issues that may crop up that we have to deal with.
Are you testing them now as we speak currently?
Currently, we are retraining the drivers on the issues we found out yesterday during our exercise yesterday.
Okay. There was one other issue that came up yesterday. It has to do with the insurance of some of these buses. And apparently, not all of these buses had insurance. And yet still you decided to convey people in them. Why so?
This is not the correct position. The vehicles that we were using have been insured. We have insured both the vehicles and our equipment that we are using for these exercises. The vehicles have been insured. What had not been done was the completion of the DVLA registration. That is what has not been completed. The vehicles have been insured.
So we do not have the proper, should I say, accreditation to use the vehicles, but yesterday on the roads?
We have the DV license plate.
But you do not have the full DVLA documents you need?
We are completing the documentation as soon as possible.
So I'm still trying to understand something here. You are in the process of registering the cars. Is that the case?
Yes.
But yes, still you're able to pay insurance premiums?
Of course.
How does that work?
You provide the insurance company with the details of the vehicles, and they provide you the cover.
Yeah, I understand the process, but my challenge is the fact that you are not even through with the registration. So how are you able to insure the car?
We gave them the vehicle chassis numbers, and they've identified which vehicles are going to be working, and they provided cover for those vehicles.
I see. Okay. This means I'm assuming by now the final processes have been done as far as the registration of these cars is concerned.
I'm saying that we are in the process of completing it. And therefore, once that is done, the stickers will be issued and placed on the vehicles with the actual vehicle registration numbers.
Okay. All right. Mr. Jamra, many thanks for your time on News Desk this morning. And Samson Jamra, he's the Chief Executive Officer of the Greater Accra Passenger Transport Executive. And they are the ones, in fact, they are the managers of the Bus Rapid Transit System. And, well, quite a lot in there. But we'll try as much as possible to break it down in subsequent bulletins for you. But